Hello and welcome back to the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel. Today, big news coming out of Celtic with regards to Joe Hart's future at Celtic. And so I thought I would do a wee quick video just to summarise the news, do a wee bit regarding Joe Hart's stats with Celtic and his general career, and a wee bit of speculation as to what Joe Hart does next, as it's not clear from the articles and the interviews and the videos so far what his plans are for next season and onwards. And also a wee bit of speculation regarding where Celtic go to for a new goalkeeper for next year onwards. So, just an hour or so ago, Joe Hart announced that he is retiring from Celtic and retiring from football. He is 37 in a couple of months' time, and he has a 20-year career going back to starting professionally as a 17-year-old with Shrewsbury. And this is his third season at Celtic, having been signed by Ange Postecoglou from Tottenham Hotspur in the start of the 21-22 season. So far, he's won two leagues, two League Cups, and one cup, and makes him one of only three players ever to win League Cup, Scottish FA Cup, Scottish Premier League, and the corresponding three tournaments in England. And so Hart joins Kenny Dalglish and Andre Kancheslkis as the only players to have achieved that feat, which is quite a major achievement. He had 75 England caps, although has not played for England for a few years, but did have a very distinguished long international career for England with a couple of World Cups. His Celtic career so far, 138 games with 59 clean sheets in all competitions. This season, 34 games with 13 clean sheets, and in Scotland, combination of the League Cup and the Scottish FA Cup, 28 games, conceded 18 goals and 13 clean sheets. So pretty good record, all things considered, in terms of his career record at Celtic and his current season record at Celtic. One of the big disappointments has, of course, been that the Celtic defence and Joe Hart has not been quite so in form in the Champions League matches. And this season we did ship rather a lot of goals, combination of a few dodgy Joe Hart performances and some poor defending, particularly in the Atletico Madrid match. However, he did make some very, very vital saves in our 2-1 win against Feyenoord in the last game of the qualifiers, qualifying league. So we have 12 league games and 3 cup games to go before we win the double. And I remain very hopeful that Celtic can turn things around. I think getting CCV back to fitness, which should be this weekend, Alistair Johnson, which should be the weekend after, and Rio Hitati mid-March, does mean that we will have approximately 2 months of our best possible 11 on the pitch, assuming that Rodgers picks that 11. There is increasing speculation that Rodgers may rest Liam Scales for the next match. A lot of folk are not concerned so much about his defending, but his ball distribution has been poor. And as was seen from yesterday's roundup of all the stats, he does tend to be rather poor at giving away possession. And also his long and short passing accuracy are poor, and there have been many games in recently where he's been pressed by the opposition attackers and midfielders and has really struggled to get the ball out of defence through the midfield to the wide players and to the forwards, and that has actually impacted quite considerably on Celtic. And he does get exposed now and again for lack of pace. However, does have good stats for tackling in the air, ground duels, tackles won, clearances, etc. So he has actually been very good defensively, but has been a bit of a disappointment in terms of his creative component of being a Celtic central defender, and it certainly CCV is considerably better, and both Gustav Lagerbielke and Nevroki also are usually very skilled at dribbling and with the ball at the feet and with passing through the midfield and out wide. So coming back to Joe Hart, no real indications as yet as to what he's going to do in the future. It does appear he's taking several months to a year off of all activities. I do wonder whether he's going to go into coaching or into punditry, as he is always quite a very bright, engaging, and seems a very intelligent player as well, and has also been, for me, quite an inspirational leader in amongst the Celtic team, and has been a regular backup captain when Callum McGregor has been unavailable. So I will be sad to see Joe Hart go. I think he's had 3 good seasons at Celtic. Start of the season, he was a wee bit variable, some good games, some poor games, but since the winter break, I think he's one of the very few Celtic players who's actually had a good series of games, and he seems to be coming into form at the most important time of this season. Scott Bain's contract is also up in May of this year. No indications as to what's happening with his contract. Benjamin Siegrist has a couple more years on his contract, but the indications are that Rodgers has been trying to get him out the club in both the summer and the winter windows without any success. So it does look like we're going to be having completely new set of goalkeepers next season. There are quite a number of top quality international goalkeepers still available as potential free agents whose contracts are up at the end of the season, the same as Hart's was. Some have speculated about Liam Kelly joining from Motherwell, and that would be a Scottish goalkeeper. Some people have also speculated about the Australian goalkeeper Matty Ryan, who's currently playing for AZ Alkmaar. He also has a Scottish passport as well as an Australian passport, but there are multiple options. There's been long-standing speculation that Celtic would sign Caoimhin Kelleher from Liverpool. However, Liverpool looked to be asking for 25 to 30 million, and Kelleher's weekly wages at Liverpool are thought to be 30,000 per week plus, according to Salary Sport. And so I think Kelleher is much more likely to go to another English Premier League club to be their number one, or even move to one of the big leagues elsewhere in Europe. One favourite for me would be Angus Gunn, the current Scotland number one, currently playing for Norwich in the English Championship. They are in contention for promotion and the playoff places in the English Championship, and so maybe in the Premier League next season in England. But Gunn's contract will have 1 year to run at the end of the season, and so is a right time for teams to put an offer to see whether Norwich are willing to release, Gunn, and transfer fee probably around the 5 million mark would be asked for, and also Gunn would fit well into Celtic's wage structure as well, so may well be an option for Celtic for summer 24 onwards. As Hart is officially retiring, I will look out a wee bit more than normal to see whether there are any goalkeepers being linked to Celtic, and try to do my best to do some profiles and some videos, etc., relating to them, so that we can see who is in contention to be our number one goalkeeper and our backup goalkeeper for the next few years. So that just about finishes things off for today. No other concrete news. No news to the contrary that CCV is not coming back at the weekend. It does look like, as I was saying, Alistair Johnston is very close to returning back into full training and full contact, and so I would expect that he'll be back in the first team, not this weekend but the next. And Hatate is lined up for mid-March. No mention of how Lee Labada is doing, no mention either at the moment as to what the negotiations between Abada, his agent, and Celtic have been. And understandably, news of Lee Labada's psychological health is being kept a wee bit more secret than usual for physical injuries. So, for all those new to this channel, who've enjoyed this video, do think about clicking that subscribe button. The channel does offer quite a variety of different sorts of videos, also regular polls of the viewers, and also a daily trivia question linked to Celtic. And so do consider clicking that subscribe button and help move the channel a wee bit forward day by day. So, thanks for listening, thanks for watching. As always, do consider that like button if you've enjoyed the video, and always feel free to put your comments, thoughts, opinions in the comment section, preferably polite, constructive, and informative. So, goodbye, and hail, hail.